Greetings and welcome to our YouTube channel. The focus of this channel is to show you how to make decisions in the BSG simulation games. Before we start, I want to show you like we were ranked among the top 100 teams in round 13, and this is an indication that we're doing fine. So to kickstart our decisions, you should always evaluate the footwear industry report and the comparative competitive reports, always abbreviated as the CCE. So we are company E, and as you can see, we are ranked second in year 13, and we hope to take the top spot in this round. When you evaluate the CCE report, it's always important for you to see what other people are doing. Like in North America, uh, from the graph, you can see that us as company E, our main competitor is company B. That does for the internet segment marketing and the wholesale segment marketing. When we go to Africa, sorry, not Europe, Asia, it's the same. Company B proves to be our main competitor. I think the same happens in Asia Pacific, company E, and then we have company B as our main competitor. The same in Latin America, where company E, and our main competitor also in this segment is company B. So in the footwear industry report from the scoreboard, you can see company A is leading. We are company E, the second one. But the main report that I always like to evaluate in this segment is the page 4 of the footwear industry report, and this is the industry overview where we can see the materials prices, the footwear production and sales, demand forecasts, the supply demand analysis, and the facility space and production equipment. The main reason for you evaluating this section is that you can see the market segment that your competitors are trying to explore, and you can also do so by matching their efforts, and you can go bulge into those markets as well. From this evaluation, you can kickstart our decisions, and the first decision is always the compensation and training page. So from the compensation and training page, we can maintain the base wage at 1. So Latin America is a new facility. We can also increase the base wage to 1. We can leave the incentive pay and the fringe benefits, because this is a simulation game. It's not a real world where when you pay employees less, they may move to other companies, but we'll hope to increase that in future, maybe when our earnings per share and return on equity and even the net profit is very high. So it's always good to invest in best practices, because this ensures that your employees have the skills required to produce quality goods and even reduce the rate of reject materials. So we can maintain this at 75, and you can also see like increasing the best practices training to the maximum also increases your material cost impact. Like for the standard materials, we have negative 0.52, for the superior materials negative 1.34. So these are good indication. For supervisory staff, we can maintain a ratio of 40:1, and their compensation, we can also cap the compensation at plus 1%. So I think this is done. We are done with the first page of compensation and training. We can move to the next page, which is the branded production. Evaluating the CCE report is always essential. CEE report is always essential when you're creating your branded production decisions, because like it can show you the SQ rating that you aim for. So what we always do in this page is always start with the number of models. For this one, you can maybe move our model to 450. Can do the same for Latin America facility, despite it being a new facility. For the TQM, total quality management, is always better to maintain it at a maximum, because this enables your employees to produce quality products. So we can leave that at the highest. So our SQ rating, maybe we can also aim to increase this maybe to 8.5. I think that will be fine. So the superior materials, like in this 40, 40, 60, if we drop this to 40, so this to 40, and then we can start to increase our enhanced styling features, because we are aiming 8.5, which is not bad. So let's do the same for Asia Pacific. We are aiming for 8.5, so that's fine. Let's do the same for Latin America, an SQ rating of 8.5. I think this will enable us sell more. So 8.5 in all the market segment, that's better. The next decision can be wholesale and internet marketing. So under wholesale and internet marketing, before we set the price, I think it's always important for us to fill the competitive assumptions, because always the SQ rating will keep on increasing in all the competitions. So we will increase that maybe by 1 for the SQ rating, so from 6.4 to 6.6. The model availability will also increase. Same to the wholesale price. So brand advertisement will also increase. Can do that. The rebate offer, we can maintain it at 5, maybe. In all the market segment, the delivery time will always reduce, because people aim to increase their market share. So when consumers know that their product will be brought in faster, they'll always prefer such products. So we can get that to 2.4. Then the retailer support will also increase. These are just assumptions. So we'll increase that in all the markets. Then after that, we can now start developing our decisions. So we will maintain the delivery time at 2 and the mail-in rebate at 5. So what we'll aim to change is the wholesale price, the brand advertisement, and the retailer support. So you can evaluate the CCE report for you to get the industry average of all those product or decisions. So the delivery time is 2. Okay, we'll start with retailer support. You should never drop the retailer support at any time. So 4250, I think we were higher than the industry average in all the markets, so I don't see a need of us changing the retailer support. Maybe we can try so with the brand advertisement. When you evaluate the CCE report, like brand advertisement in North America, we were higher compared to the industry average. We can maybe also maintain that. Same in Europe, Africa. I think the industry average was at 13,000 while we are at 14,000. So we can also maintain this. And for Asia Pacific, we are also higher. And for the Latin America, like when you evaluate the CCE report, like you can see the brand advertisement, this is North America. We were higher by about 23.4%. So there is no need of us changing that, because we are still higher compared to the industry average. When you look at Europe, Africa brand advertisement, we were also higher by about 6.3%, When you go to Asia Pacific brand advertisement, we were also higher by almost 18%. In Latin America brand advertisement, we were also higher by about 23.4%. And that's the decision why I've seemed it better not to change or increase our brand advertisement at this moment. So we'll maintain them. And then for the retailer support, I think in all the markets, again, we offered higher retailer support compared to our competitors. So what we'll focus on is only changing the wholesale price. And because we have increased our SQ rating, we can also decide to increase the price of our products. So like in this one, can increase it to 74. It's not bad. In Europe, Africa, like we'll increase the product to the point where we feel like the net profit is at its optimum. So from 71, maybe we'll do, yeah, we can increase the price in Europe, Africa to 79, while in Asia Pacific, let's see, 4, can increase that to 77, $1 increase, while in Latin America we can increase this by, so we can increase that price in Latin America up to $80. So after our wholesale decisions, we'll go to internet marketing. So in internet marketing, uh, it's advised not to do free shipping, but if our competitors are doing it, then we'll start doing it. But for now, when you evaluate the CEE report, none of our competitors is offering free shipping, so we can let it be. So what we'll do maybe is changing the retail price and the search engine advertisement. So we should always maintain the search engine advertisement above the industry average. Like for North America, the industry average was about 6,167. We are already higher than that, so we can leave this one. The same in Europe, Africa. The industry average was about 46.94. We are already higher than that. And the same applies for Asia Pacific and Latin America, because when you evaluate the CCE report, we're already higher. So what we'll do is maybe increase the price until we ensure that the retail price exceeds the wholesale price by 40%. So in this case, we have 103. The price will also increase in Europe, in the Europe Africa market. This will come to 110.45. We'll do the same in Asia Pacific and Latin America. So after that, maybe we'll move on to production facilities. So let's develop our decisions for production facilities. So in North America, we have available space of 6,000 and the production equipment 6,000 also. So we can maybe decide to create new space, because space takes a year before it's fully constructed, while the purchase of new equipment only takes maybe 24 hours until you have your product. So we can decide to construct an additional 2,000 space in North America. In Latin America, we have 3,000 and production of 2,000. So we can add an additional 1,000 for us to satisfy to fill the remaining 1,000 space. And we can also decide to buy an additional space, construct an additional space of maybe 2,000. That's fine. In Asia Pacific, we have 7,000 space, a production equipment of 7,000 and also equipment of 7,000. But remember that the new products are only 50, the production equipment, new ones are only 57%, while the refurbished one are 43. So our aim is to have new production equipments. We can decide to sell, to purchase new equipments, maybe to sell, maybe we can sell first. We can sell equipments worth, sorry about this. We can sell equipments, maybe we sell equipments worth 3,000. And we can at the same time purchase new equipments worth 3,000 because we aim to increase the percentage of new production equipment. So I think when we sell 3,000 and install a new 3,000, that's fine. So we'll also construct additional space of maybe 3,000 in this area. 5,000 pairs. So you can maintain, maybe create an additional 1,000 for this case. So after we are done with the production facility page and decisions, so we can move to distribution and warehouse as our next decisions. So we can zero in every segment before we start deciding on what products, on the number of products to ship to the different markets. We should always look at the projected demand. So as we continue in developing our decisions, what I mostly prefer to do is clearing inventory from the previous year. So you'll see like you'll always look at the margin over direct cost that has the greatest impact. Like when we clear 25% in North America, we have 1,042, 1043. This gives us 2103. So if we clear all of it, it's 27. So we can leave it that way. In this one, 803, 896, 1455, and this is, so we can clear 75% of this because it also helps us achieve the investor expectations. Asia Pacific 38, so you can clear also 100%, 390. So we can also clear 100%, and then we start shipment of our products. So in North America, like the demand is almost 32, so we can maybe say 3,300. Like we have a shortfall of 3616, so we can decide maybe to ship 3720. So we have an inventory of 60. I always like to push this to about 100, so we can say instead of 3720, let's say 3800, and see the impact of this. So we have 140. That's not bad. Then the rest, the 980 pairs, we can ship that to Africa. 980. So in Africa we have a shortfall of about 1,889. When you come to the Asia Pacific facility, it's also important. mostly important to satisfy the demand in the region. So in Asia Pacific, 2249. So in Asia Pacific, maybe we can do 2400 and see what surplus we'll have. Surplus of 102, that's not bad. And then in Latin America, the demand is, we have 2315. So the whole production will remain in Latin America. This is 22, 27. So shortfall of 265. We can ship that from Asia Pacific. So instead of 265, we can do maybe 350. So surplus of 82, can increase this maybe to 420 and 52. That's fine. So we can ship the rest to Europe, Africa, 1754. So in Europe, Africa, we still have a minimum of 135. So we can go back to our branded production and increase production. Like Asia Pacific, we can maybe produce 5,000 pairs. And in Latin America, instead of 24, we produce also 3,000. Let's see what impact this will have. Can also increase this because we dropped the amount of standard, we increased the amount of standard materials we are using, so we'll increase the price while we drop the amount of superior materials. So we can maybe decide to reduce the price as our anticipated change. So let's go back to distribution and warehouse. So surplus of 772, that's so large. Maybe we can reduce this to 317. Not bad. So in Europe, Africa, we have a shortfall. So 55, 56 pairs. So what about if we ship the rest of the materials remaining in Latin America to Europe, Africa? So we have surplus in all the regions. This is not a bad decision. So next, after distribution and warehouses, we can go to, I think we have satisfied, we have also done branded production, not bad. And if you look at our projected performance, we are not badly off. An image rating of 100, we have achieved we have surpassed even the investor expectation. Credit rating, we are all fine. The return on equity, we are fine. And earnings per share, we are also fine. So next, after distribution and warehouse, we can go to private labeling. The private label operations. So the global minimum is at 5, and in all the markets, North America and Asia Pacific, we have achieved that, except for Latin America. So we can decide to increase our PQ rating, our SQ rating, sorry, this region. So 4.8, and then enhanced styling features, increase this. You have achieved that. So we can switch this first to 0. Not to 0, but to no, before we start developing our decisions. So you can start by deciding on the amount of products we'll export to each region. In Latin America, because we have a capacity of 600, start with 600, so that's fine. So in Asia Pacific, in our Asia Pacific facility, start maybe with also 600. So we have not surpassed our projected market share. We can increase this to 650. Not yet 700. So we can maintain this to 650. So what will in North America we have a capacity of 2000. So let's try 650. It's higher. What about 600? So we can maintain this at 600. Then what will transport to Europe, Africa? Maybe we can also do 600. So we have not surpassed the so we can maintain also in Europe, Africa 600 pairs. Now what remains is for us to set the price, and before we set the price, it's always important for you to evaluate the CCE report on the private label segment and see, like in the previous year we are company E, we managed to sell 244, like we were the only company that sold our products, and we offered a price of 49. In Latin America our price was at 49. Let's check with Asia Pacific. In Asia Pacific we also sold 440 pairs at a price of 43. That was our offer. What about Europe, Africa? We also were able to sell 443 pairs at a price of 49. That was our market, our offer price, and we were able to sell. What about in North America? We sold 443 and our offer price was 37. So I think we can try the same, because like company C offered at a lower price than us, but I think the SQ rating was a bit low. So going back to our decisions, maybe we can undercut or maintain the same price that we offered products in the previous round. So in North America, previously we offered 37. I think we can maybe, instead of 37.6, we can offer with at 37 flat. In Europe, Africa market, instead of 49, maybe say 49. Instead of 43, maybe we do 42.5. And then in the Latin America market, instead of 49.7, can also drop that to 49. Then after that, our scoring measures are fine, so maybe we can switch this to yes in all the markets. Celebrity endorsement is our next decision. So for celebrity endorsement, it's always important also to evaluate your CCE, not the CCE but the footwear industry report, where we are shown what other companies offered. So the maximum was 7,500, I think so, and we have a consumer appeal of about 150, which is among the highest. So I think we can offer the maximum price for all the celebrities, but we have to choose the ones that have the best average appeal index. So for right now we have Steph Caraway and JXYZ under contract with our company, but we won't terminate their contracts. So what we'll do, maybe we'll offer the maximum price other competitors are offering, but it's never wise to compete with in terms of price with our competitors. So can do that, and then in terms of priority we'll choose with the one with the highest average appeal index. So we can decide to go with this as our first priority, this one as our number 2, Mike Jagameister number 3. We also have to set our spending cap for year 14 on celebrity endorsement contracts. So I think we can set this at, what is the best price? 7,500. Maybe we can set this at 23,000. We don't want to spend more than that on celebrities. After that, we'll go to corporate citizenship, CSR. So we can maintain this, our CSR initiative. Maybe, yeah, we can leave the charitable contribution at 2%. Yeah, everything's fine. Now to the last page on finance and cash flow. So shareholder equity, it's projected to increase and we have to drop this. So our first decision will be always to buy back stock. The maximum we can buy is 11.29, so we can do that. 11.29. As you can see, our ending cash has dropped, but this is not a problem. We can also decide to pay early to offset some of our debts. So the one with the highest interest is this one of 17.7, but it's also, you can decide to pay this early, and also can decide to pay 2 loans at a go. So we have a shortfall of about 446,000, but we can take a loan with the lowest interest of maybe 5-year loan. What about taking a loan of 500,000 to 50,000? So what if we take to 50,000 here? So we still have a shortfall. Maybe we can decide not to pay this one first, and also not to pay that loan, and see what this does. Switch this back to 0. So we have a shortfall of 309. So we can take a 10-year loan. 320. Now our cap is at 250,000. So we still have negative 59. So maybe instead of repurchasing all this stock, we can decide to repurchase 1,000. Shortfall of 8,000. So another 1-year loan of maybe 20,000. Surplus of 11,000. 11,000. Maybe let's kick this up to maybe 25,000. Still low. Let's do 35,000 for this case. So these are positive cash balance. Okay. So when you look at our projected year 14 performances, our earnings per share are higher compared to the investor expectation. The same with return on equity. Our credit rating is better, and we have an image rating of 100%. Net revenue increased. We have our net revenue of 1 million, which is maybe 11.5% from the previous one, and a net profit of 162. Our ending cash balance is also negative compared to the last year, but this should not worry you because remember we did some investment, purchasing equipments and purchasing space. So I think with this we can save our decisions and wait for the best outcome. What you can do, you can subscribe on our channel and hit the notification bell so that the next time we create such videos, you'll be notified and we'll learn with this. Thank you.